It took just 40 minutes of deliberation before an Arizona jury found Samuel Bateman guilty, this time on 3 felony charges of placing minors in a situation where personal health is endangered. So these were felony charges out of Flagstaff, Arizona. If you all watch the Netflix documentary, The False Prophet, this is him, right? He's already serving 50 years in federal prison for pretending to be the next Warren Jeffs. In that documentary, they showed it when he was pulled over. He was pulling that trailer that had 3 little girls ages 11 to 14 in the back of the truck with no ventilation. Remember, they had some furniture and a little makeshift toilet back there. 3 felony counts of basically child abuse. And he decides to show up in court and he decides to act as his own attorney. And it did not go well. As a recap for those of you who didn't happen to watch this documentary, trust me, False Prophet, if you did not have a chance to watch it, Samuel Bateman alleged that he proclaimed himself the new prophet after Warren Jeffs went to jail, and the group was left, this polygamous community was left without a leader or a prophet. So he stepped in to fill the void, and I mean, this documentary is really, really good. You should go watch it because it shows you how absolutely ridiculous and mediocre these men can be and still convince people that they are somebody of worth and of value and should be followed. And you should give up all of your earthly possessions and you should give up your wife and your little girls to him. It's shocking how twisted religious manipulation can be. But thanks to the documentary filmmakers, they tipped off the FBI. The FBI ran a sting. This arrest, this Flagstaff arrest, is shown in the documentary. So this happens before the FBI even has a chance to swoop in. The FBI comes in like 2 weeks later because they don't want their case blown, and they come and they get him. He was arrested on 53 different counts. They included illicit sexual conduct with minors, child sex trafficking, kidnapping, conspiracy to transport minors, possession of child materials, obstruction of justice. At the time, they said, quote, he's a leader of an interstate child sex ring that spanned numerous states and victimized at least 10 underage girls. Oh, but they were his wives. He loved them. He wasn't victimizing them. He married them and he was their husband. Anyway, he takes a plea deal. He pleads guilty to 2 of the 53 counts, and he's sentenced to 50 years in federal prison, which is where he is. But when the district attorney in Flagstaff says, well, now he's got to be prosecuted on these 3 felony charges of child abuse, and at the time he was arrested, he was hauled off to jail, his loyal followers showed up with $150,000 in cash to bail him out. And by the way, he went back to his polygamous community and they all thought he was a martyr. They were like, oh, see, if he wasn't a prophet, they wouldn't be trying so hard to take him down, because he had them all so convinced that this is what he was. I truly believe the reason he decided to show up at this trial, the reason he chose to defend himself, be his own attorney in this trial, is because he needed the attention. He is, again, sentenced to 50 years. He is going to, just like Warren Jeffs eventually did, he's going to lose control of his polygamous sect. He is going to lose, he has a lot of followers who still believe he's the prophet, but he runs the risk of there being a vacuum and someone taking over while he's gone. So this is the best way to be put on camera, to be put on TV, to be all over the internet as, look at me, a man of faith, I have a microphone and I'm still speaking because I have not been silenced. And of course, the witnesses had to testify. So these girls have to get up on the stand and he has to question them personally. It was a power trip. It was an influence campaign. And he was trying like hell to control them and scare them, and it didn't work. Everything I'm hearing, it was an absolute disaster, which is no surprise. A lot of times when people act as their own attorneys, it's a fucking disaster. Disaster. Anyway, there is a sentencing hearing scheduled for August 25th. Each count can carry between 4 and 8 years in prison. Now, he's already serving 50 years, so I don't know what they'll do with these, but I think it's the idea. It is the idea that he just continues to be punished. And hopefully this community in Arizona will realize very soon that he is not a prophet. He's nothing more than a con man who wanted to have sex with the little girls in your community. That's all he is. Many of the young women, many of the wives have gotten out, and they are free from him, and they are free from this lifestyle. But there are still many more women who remain there, and many of them still swear that he is the prophet, he is their husband. They are loyal to him until their last dying day. Even though he's going to rot in prison, they still believe what they believe.